I have to overlay didn't change. Gotta give that another shot here.
Okay,
Carry on.
anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I give you No Pain, No Gain versus Freedom Claushers. This should be fun. So, No Pain, No Gain are Nibiru and Leo X, otherwise known as Big 15. Um, both very decent 1v1 players, so it'll be interesting to see how they go in 2v2. As you should know, Freedom Claushers is the other Pentasports team, consisting of Pentasports.dash and Pentasports Andre B. We have US Chimera out of Freedom Claushers, and we have Cartel US out of No Pain No Gain. Andre B getting a very nice double resource spawn there, so he's sitting on pretty much 50-50 aluminium gold,
Very nice.
as is Nibiru.
Gonna pop in a second, take a look at what's going on, but I don't know what's going on with my overlay. We'll take a look into that in just a moment once more. Just want to take a look at each player's starts.
Interestingly enough, Leo X could have gone for that double resource, but chose not to. Yeah, from now on I'll refer to him as Leo X. He was Big 15, he's Leo X now. Get with the program, people. Yeah, so Leo X, the only player not going for that double resource. It looks like Dot Dash also got double resource. So all the players besides Leo X. Interesting. Don't know if he just missed it or if it was by choice.
He doesn't want to be one of the cool kids.
Yeah, doesn't want to follow the crowd again.
Totally okay.
You are running with a delay, by the way.
What's that?
You are streaming with a delay, just to make sure.
Yeah, yes.
Okay, cool. So far, interesting enough, Andre B has stuck to a single refinery, that single double resource refinery. He has not gone for anything more than that. As I say that though, he does get another gold up, but that's quite a far away gold. Dot Dash sitting on 1 gold, 1 split, and going into his first aluminium. Leo X is sitting on double gold, single aluminium. And Nibiru is sitting on 1 gold, 1 split, 1 aluminium. Actually, sorry, 2 gold, 1 split, 1 aluminium. And he has already got his vehicles bay up.
Leo X is going for that one of the central banks right now, whereas it looks like nobody else is heading that direction just yet.
Interesting to see Dot Dash producing mortars. Very big map, so you'd have to use some kind of transport vehicle to move them around, otherwise, meh.
Nibiru just narrowly passed by Andre's UGV without it being shot at.
He will get the scout on the spear vehicle bay from Andre B. Andre B still only sitting on a single gold and a single split. Dot Dash has started to expand his economy quite substantially now.
Leo X is going to try and use that US recon, deal some damage to the Crushers. We'll see if he succeeds or not. He's going for the hybrid refinery.
Oh, it looks like the Crushers are upgraded.
Yep. At the last minute too, because I just checked them and they weren't. But Leo X did not lose it, so that's not too bad.
Yep,
Not
and
too bad at all for him.
he does take that central bank. Interesting to see that it looks like Dot Dash and Leo X are going for very similar builds. They're both going for that typical early logistics center, whereas Leo X has just got hydrofracking up. Uh, the logistics center from Dot Dash seems to have got all the upgrades up, if I'm not mistaken, and he is going into helipad, so he will go for airplay to start with at least, and the exact same from Leo X.
Well, we were talking about how earlier we were surprised we didn't see any air at all, but with the US, I'm not surprised we're seeing some sort of air.
And with
Whether they
these
go full
players,
air, yeah, exactly. Whether they go full air or they just use it to kind of supplement their forces, we will find out.
interesting to see Nibiru has gone 2 Hinds, 2 automatics. And the center bank has been taken by Nibiru with a Hind and some infantry. So that is a very good position for them because they'll be able to like garrison all the buildings in the center there and become a real nuisance for uh, anything that gets into range of whatever they stick in the middle there.
Yeah, it looks like the guy are gonna put Grinches around the sides, which is gonna be good to catch stray guardians that might think they're safe to go near there.
So we're
So
seeing pretty much mass guardians right now out of Leo X. He hasn't got a light vehicle bay up yet. The same
doesn't
goes
surprise
for
me.
Dot Dash.
I see some helicopters mixed in.
So
Just
it'll be
quick note on the just quick note on the overlay, guys. I'm having some technical issues for some reason. Photoshop, like, even though I'm saving the file, like, it won't let me save the file, even if I'm changing the name. So I'm gonna have to deal with that in between matches. I just shut it off for now.
So we do see the sword vehicle bay coming out from Andre B. It's going to be interesting to see how effective he can be with those Terminators because it looks like we're going to see a lot of air in this game, and so those Terminators could make the difference.
He could, he could go with Phoenix.
He could, of course, he could go with Phoenix. Second helipad out from Dot Dash. Still a single helipad from Leo X, although he has got a light vehicle bay up, which could be very good. If he goes, which he is exactly doing right now, he's going for Blazes. So if he goes split Blazes Guardians, he can be very effective against the so far focused Guardians from Dot Dash.
Okay, there's the armies. I'm just having trouble finding everybody's armies at the moment. I see Leo X. I see Nibiru gathering a few, looks like a harassing force along Andre B's borders.
It looks like for now Nibiru's just trying to secure that center island just so he can take it when needs be, so he doesn't lose it to
Yep.
Andre B.
Yeah, I see that he's already got some Sherishans hanging out in the barn.
So we are going to see Fenix out of Andre B. They are going to be upgraded, Fenix. And only now is Andre B going to take his center bank. So a small force here out from Leo X. He's sitting on 4 Guardians. He has an Osprey with a Hercules in it, and then he has a couple of Blazers traveling around. So far, still focused double helipad from Dot Dash. He hasn't got a light vehicle bay up. He might want to do so to counter the air from Leo X.
So you see Leo X, his little Blazer task force he sent towards the middle. Almost took out all of the Guardians dot dash sent. They're all in critical shape, and he just forced them all to pull away. Gonna let him to kind of do a counter push, and we do see Nibiru with the Super Hinds and ground forces moving in, and he gets that Fennec, and there's not a whole lot of Fennecs out yet at all.
And Fennecs aren't going to be the best unit to stop this push.
No.
Nibiru has kind of... Oh, it looks like he is going to re-push again. It would be a good idea for him to push all the way now, because there's just not a lot up in defense right now for Andre B.
Yep, if he pushes right now, he's gonna do a lot of damage to Andre B if he doesn't actually put him out of the game already. But if he starts getting a little too scared and backs off, that could be it.
Although we are
However,
seeing...
these Fennecs are actually doing quite a good job of pushing those Hinds back.
Pretty good micro of those Fennecs. Here comes Dot Dash's Guardian Force though to back up those Fennecs.
That's the type of play you need to see out of teams when one player is in a troublesome spot.
Although that is leaving himself very open to this slowly pushing force of Leo X.
This is very true.
And again,
he's got a lot of Blazers.
Yeah, again, Dot Dash is still completely focused on air. So those Blazers are going to really hurt.
Stealth enemy unit detected.
We are seeing those Fennecs now push up the center from Andre B.
Dot Dash is recalling his army back to his base, while Andre B is starting to try and secure his island, but we see that the well-placed Sherishans of Nibiru have denied at least one of those refineries.
And we're seeing an engagement between Leo X and Dot Dash.
Now, I don't think Dot Dash intended to throw those helicopters where he did.
No. And he has to pull back immediately because of all those Blazers. That is a scary Blazer force if you are focused all in on air.
That is a very terrifying Blazer force.
Not to mention that Leo X has almost matched Dot Dash in Guardian numbers.
It looks like we may have missed some sort of push from Andre B at Nibiru's base.
He ran in with those Fennecs. I didn't actually catch the push, but I
that's
saw
what that's what I figured going there. Oh yeah, a couple of them are pulling away. I see them now on the road. Here's Dot Dash and Leo X just back and forth, kind of kiting around each other.
And another benefit.
Dot Dash.
Yeah, another benefit to those Blazers is that they're shooting a lot of those rockets out of the sky, mitigating a lot of the damage that Dot Dash is trying to do.
Yeah, a lot of it. Dot Dash has more helicopters, but with all those Blazers, it kind of looks like he's on the worst position. The Super Hinds maneuvering from Nibiru. Don't know if they're going to go and try and harass Andre once more, but they are on the move.
Bit disappointing here to see Leo X pull back. I feel he should have just pushed.
He easily could have. Like, those Blazers pose a huge threat to the all-air force of Dot Dash. And Dot Dash has not shown any signs of transitioning anytime soon. He's in DEFCON 1, and all he's doing is ecoing up, and he's still going full on air. Alex has a couple more Blazers joining up with the party.
He's pulling that force back quite a lot now. Interesting to see what he's going to do with that.
Yeah. A whole lot of caution from all teams right now. Things were picking up for a little bit there, and now it's pretty much all quiet. A lot of economic expansion. So far, looking at the map, it looks like both teams compared to each other seem to have pretty equal economic situations.
We are seeing some Fennec harass from Andre B in Leo X's base. And
I
Leo X
see.
does not have any detection in his base at the moment. So his
Wow, those
logistics
do
center
so
is
much
down.
damage to buildings.
Yeah.
That is a lot of power. Yeah, there goes the logistics center, the big fiery explosion. A lot of damage, and I think he might actually lose that barracks to fire.
And he is getting up that 2 phalanx now, but he should have had those phalanx up to start with.
Yeah. That's actually one of the problems that I have right now with this new meta, because I played the US a lot before the air and a lot of the stealth stuff that was happening, and I always forget to put up phalanx before it's too late. Very important. Whether or not they're actually defending your base, that stealth detection will save your life.
So Nibiru killing off Andre B's refineries on that center island.
Stealth enemy unit detected.
Yeah, both islands being harassed by both teams. Seems so even right now. However, I have noticed that Dot Dash already has 2 administrative centers down.
Yep, and he is going for an air control, so he is going to most likely go for anti-air. I don't see him getting any rare earth in at the moment. Nope, he has got 1 rare earth refinery up, so he will be getting in rare earth, so he may go for bombers, it is possible.
We see right now that Andre B is chasing down Super Hines with his Phoenix, and it's actually gonna work. I don't know. Wow. Did you see that napalm bomb?
Yep.
It like flew so far. I have never seen a napalm bomb do that. Wow.
So there's a
That was
massive Guardian force up from Leo X, and I'd love to see him just push now. He's being far too
Nibiru.
cautious.
Nibiru, just like Nibiru is being very sneaky. He's got a bunch of Comanches on the far left. And if he can pick the right target with those, he could cause some severe damage to the Freedom Claushers. Looking at Andre B's base, there is nothing detection-wise at his main base. He could get headquarters sniped very easily. That is a lot of command. I think that is more Comanches than you need to one-shot an HQ. And that looks like what he's gonna go for. Yeah, I'm taking a quick look at Leo X. That is a lot of Blazers. That is a lot of Guardians.
He's just being too
2 air
cautious. He
armies
needs to
maneuvering around
push.
each other. But here we go, Nibiru.
Stealth
I
enemy
think he's gonna go right for that headquarters.
And so he does. There goes that headquarters straight away.
There you go. Oh,
That
that
died
was actually
very
the
quickly.
perfect number. Perfect number. And the power's down. He just stopped Andre's production entirely. And there's no Phoenix in sight. The Phoenix are all out at the front lines. That was a very good play. There was a lot of back and forth between Andre and Nibiru, but this play right here, that I don't know what Andre can do. At least he's not going to recover his main base. He's going to have to rely on outposts to try and recover.
Now that force from Dot Dash has pushed into Leo X's base, but Leo X is sending both his air force and his ground force back to protect his base.
Stealth enemy unit
He did manage to get one of the air control centers already, and there's another one it looks like he's trying to pick away at. He's also going to take out the phalanx turrets, which is actually not a bad idea. And Andre B did rush Nibiru's base, and he's gonna get Nibiru's headquarters in return with his Phoenix. Oh man,
The back and forth in this game is unbelievable.
the the backstabbing stealth play from both players. Incredible, and that is so many helicopters from Dot Dash. And yeah, it looks like he's gonna start pushing on Nibiru's stuff as well. But yeah, that is a lot of Fenix, even though Andre has been put in a
Leo
horrible
X catches
position.
those helicopters with his blazers.
Oh, that is... Wow. Wow. Surprisingly, he didn't lose too many. He was able to get away, but yeah, that's definitely a deterrent to get out of the area and fast. And he's going to find some of Leo X's rare earth production. These Fenix have done irreparable damage to Nibiru, just as the Comanches have done irreparable damage to Andre B. I don't know what happens from here. This has just become very, very interesting. It's already interesting, no doubt, but this is quite impressive.
So first of all, Leo X is going to need to defend from those Fenix. He's going to need to get detection up.
Stealth enemy unit detected.
And he's got some in his main base, but he doesn't have much around his base.
No. And those Fenix.
Although he catches the Fenix now with his Air Force, which is good for him.
Oh. He only gets a couple because of how wonderful the AI auto-targeting is.
And bombing run on Dot Dash's base. He takes out both of Dot Dash's helipads.
That was actually a very well-laid play. He also got one of the administrative centers.
Very good bombing run there.
And we see the immediate dropping of a Patriot by Dot Dash. Not a bad idea at all. Leo X just repairing his helicopters at the moment. We do see another stealth bomber out from Leo X, as well as a very large Comanche force from Nibiru still going back to try and finish off the remnants of Andre.
It would be nice to
They
see that
just-
Comanche force go and harass Dot Dash instead, just to
Yeah.
give him something to worry about.
I think he just wants to make sure that Andre is actually out of the game and that he did seal the deal with the damage he dealt. It looks like Raptors were sent out by Dot Dash, and that's what dealt with the B-2 bomber.
So
I'm
Leo
looking
X
around right
is-
now, and I don't see an outpost out from Andre B, so he's pretty much done.
Leo X's force right now is just sitting there, both the ground force and the land force. I don't know what he's waiting on.
Whole lot of maneuvering again out of both Dot Dash and Leo X. They're just waiting for some prey, looking for some targets to pick off.
Stealth enemy
Few
unit
Delta
detected.
coming out from Dot Dash.
You see, power is out at Dot Dash's base. If Nibiru was in position already, he could have done some stuff. But with that Patriot and the Phalanx up, I don't know if he can get those. Excuse me, if he can get the Comanches close enough to do any major damage. Although it is quite a bit.
Dot Dash's
Might be
Air
able to do
Force
something.
is doing a bit of harass on the center island. Leo X is pushing out his land force. Looks like he's going to try and go for that surround, which could be very
Stealth
effective.
enemy unit detected.
And Dot Dash sees it and is pulling back now.
Yep, Nibiru just destroyed some of Dot Dash's aluminum refineries on the bottom island. He's just gonna probably prowl around with those, try to pick off his economy, because this map you have to go really far once you get to the mid game. You have to travel really far to collect map resources.
Those Fennec have been detected again, a couple more die. 3 that I can see still alive.
2 of them look like they're gonna break through, but Dot Dash is probably Dot Dash does have deltas running in that very direction. If they're on attack move, and those Fenix won't make it anywhere. And I'm talking about the wrong team here. Never mind. Nibiru still trolling around with those Comanches. That is a lot of dangerous firepower. That's about all he has left, too, because Nibiru's base got wiped by Andre B. It's becoming a 1v1 supported by a handful of units from their teammates.
A very interestingly positioned 1v1 at that. A lot of air control coming up from Dot Dash. Be interesting to see if you choose to go for bombers.
And I like what Nibiru did here. I was wondering why he came over here. He's taking advantage of Leo X's Hercules to repair his air force.
Very clever.
We see Andre B just lashing out with whatever he can. He's got Crushers over here.
I mean, any distraction is a good distraction, I suppose.
Yeah, and this Dot Dash has such a strong air force right now. There's so many helicopters. I'm actually surprised he doesn't have a couple more Osprey mixed in there, but
Leo X does still have that ground force of his, which could turn the tide in any engagement between the two air forces.
we do see a silo being deployed by Dot Dash as well.
So far, nothing coming out of those air controls. Another bomb run coming from Leo X.
Oh man, those helicopter forces just narrowly missed each other. Dot Dash is looking in the wrong place. A whole bunch of Comanches slipped right by.
And Leo X has kind of got his ground force behind Dot Dash, so if Dot Dash has to pull back, he will run over that ground force.
Wondering what exactly Leo X is going for here. It looks like he is just going for the refineries, which is still not a bad idea.
Stealth enemy unit detected.
But those Raptors shot it down out of problem. Now we see Leo X deploying his own Raptor, so we're going to see some Raptor dogfighting, no doubt.
So it looks like we're going to see that ground force of Leo X run straight into Dot Dash's air force.
Oh, man.
Stealth enemy unit detected.
That cannot feel good.
No.
I'm surprised at how many of those Guardians stayed up. And there goes, oh man, the Osprey. The Osprey. 1 HP. That is the luckiest Osprey ever.
Comanche's killing off one of Dot Dash's refineries.
Nope, just poking around at the economy. That's actually a very good use for those Comanches at this stage. Eventually, Dot Dash will be choked off and won't be able to keep up in production.
More Crusher pushing from Andre B.
Having trouble finding those.
That is a lot of Ospreys from Leo X. A lot of them. And they don't have Hercules
Oh,
in them.
yeah. No, I think he's just using them for the miniguns.
Interesting.
Stealth enemy
But at
unit
the same time, I don't even see... Okay, I do see the miniguns now. They're like on the belly of the Ospreys. A lot of Delta out of Dot Dash going into his town. And Nibiru getting closer and closer to Dot Dash's base. And he might actually get caught up by those helicopters. But no, this Guardian group actually doesn't have a little bird with it.
There is a little bird just
And
behind the
there it
Guardian
is.
group which is
Yep.
scouting around. So it is going to see him, but he might be able to do damage before anything happens.
Okay, he just finally got his stealth back. I don't know if he's gonna go for... And there's the Patriot. Oh man, the Patriot.
That Patriot anti-air is immense.
If I saw that correctly, it looked like the Patriot still does do area damage because that first shot killed 2 Comanches.
Stealth enemy unit detected.
So we're seeing the nuke upgrade and then the nuke coming out from dot dash. He still has not produced a lot of air. Well, I lie, he's produced out of 3 of the 4. Looks like he's gone.
Not to mention he has lost a couple here and there, so he's had to replenish those.
Nuke's coming out of Leo X as well. He also has his Patriot as well, obviously. Although it's Dot Dash has 3 Patriot rounds, so 2 nukes will not cut it at the moment.
Some nuclear warfare finally happening.
Oh, the Crusher push is real from Montre B.
Yeah, it's provoked the entire Air Force response out of Leo X. That's awesome. That's literally the only thing he can do, but he can actually make something happen, especially if he gets in range of those helicopters. That amount of Crushers is still it's not funny. It is, but when you're on the other end of them, it's still kind of scary. Pretty awesome. Laser Force keeps growing for Leo X, as well as those helicopters.
If I'm not mistaken,
Dot Dash.
those Comanches are all dead now. I don't see them anywhere on the map.
Yeah, I guess we missed that. I wonder what happened. Oh, it might have been at the bottom island, because there's a little bird sitting there, and there's bunkers all over the place.
Stealth enemy unit detected.
Very possible.
And that's the last trajectory I remember seeing them on. But yeah, that's a very unfortunate way to have lost those. Yeah, I don't see them anywhere.
So nuke 2 and 3 out of dot dash. Leo X only on 1 Patriot round at the moment. And he
Yeah,
has got
other than the Patriot count, we're looking at pretty much similar situation. Both of them are going for nukes. Both of them are dropping administrative centers.
But that nuke difference could be the deciding factor, because while Leo X can fire 2 nukes at the moment at dot dash, they're both going to be shot down by his Patriot, whereas that Patriot of Leo X only has 2 rounds at the moment, although he is building more rounds. So
I think what Leo X is doing here, he just launched one of the nukes. I think he wants to confirm that there's a Patriot, and if he finds a Patriot, he might try to use his Air Force to snipe out the power.
could be. Now, oh no, he nuked the center. However, now we are going to see another surround from Leo X on that Air Force of dot dash. It's going to get caught out again if he keeps his micro up.
Looks like he spotted it.
Stealth
He
enemy
spotted
unit
it.
detected.
But now he's pinned. He's in between 2 hostile sides right now. Only one direction to go. Those blazers. I would not put any amount of helicopters near those blazers.
No.
Stealth enemy unit detected.
Whole lot of helicopters, whole lot of repositioning, whole lot of looking for openings, looking for targets to pick off, and a whole lot of administrative centers.
Okay, so Leo X now has his max 4 rounds out of his Patriot, which is good. So does dot dash also have his max 4 rounds.
Stealth enemy unit detected. detected.
see a heavy vehicle bay out of Dot Dash, but he has not queued anything up yet, so I'm not sure if it's going to be Abrams or if he's going to go for those attackums or
The exact
what
same
we'll
for
see.
Leo X. He also has his heavy vehicle bay up, but he's not producing anything out of it.
Who is who at this point?
I think the biggest difference at the minute is the number of air controls up from Dot Dash compared to Leo X. Leo X has 1, Dot Dash has 4 of them.
True. Pace is starting to slow down a little bit here as both players try to grab their late game economy and get that going, and probably even just trying to scratch their heads and think about what do we want to do at this point.
Personally, I'd go for like mass bombers, because as much anti-air as you get up, some bombers will always get through.
Stealth enemy unit detected.
Yeah.
We are seeing Andre B pinging around the map, obviously just trying to be as helpful as he can to Dot Dash. I mean, that is the difference here. I mean, it is pretty much a 1v1, but you have got players on your side able to point out things that you're not seeing.
Yeah, you have two sets of eyes, basically.
Oh wow, and it looks like MG nests being thrown out all over the place by Dot Dash.
Where are you seeing that? Oh, I see a couple scattered ones.
Take a look at this HQ and you can see the production queue of them.
I see. I'm just trying to find out where exactly he's sending them. Do you see one on the top right island?
The center between the right island and the middle island.
Okay, yep, I see a couple there. It looks. I think he's just using them as like a screen
Yeah.
to see where units are coming from, basically. It's not a bad idea. They're cheap and they're fairly durable, so you can kind of see what's going on.
Yep, take a look at Nibiru throwing his K-Maxes around just
Nice.
to scout.
Yep, I see that. That's a good idea too. All these players digging deep out of the toolbox.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you prepared for a long night tonight. I mean, this is the first of 3.
Yeah, this is game 1 still. Oh man. By the way, all those blazers were just able to kill one of the shredder construction vehicles that was going to deploy a bunker.
The one bunker is going to go up though.
Stealth enemy unit detected.
And unfortunately, most of Nibiru's K-Max were just obliterated by the wave of raptors that were deployed by Dash. There's literally a dogfight happening. There's just raptors fighting each other in the air.
The air fight is actually amazing to watch. A few
Oh,
raptors
man.
getting caught out there flying straight over those blazers.
There's so many AA missiles. So many AA missiles. See the double nuke launch from Dot Dash going to Leo X's base. Because his Patriot is down. I don't know what killed the Patriot, but the Patriot is down.
Oh no!
Oh, he dropped Enlos behind the base.
That
The Enlos
is
are-
so
the En-
clever.
The Enlos almost killed the HQ before the nukes got
And there
there.
comes the double nuke, and that has to be GG.
Oh, that has gotta be GG. Lilo X. Oh man, that was so sneaky. So now we know what he used the heavy vehicle bay for.
We do, yes.
Oh, that was...
Now, I mean, the only thing... I don't know why Leo X is turning
Wow.
back. I mean, the only thing he can do is just push and go for a base trade now, in my opinion.
Yeah, I was gonna say, he's gonna have to... He should go the other way. There's no recovering this base. I mean... Granted, he does have fobs laying around, so he very well could rebuild his HQ, but...
But to
all
what
those
end?
admin centers, yeah, all those admin centers that he's been pouring aluminum into gone.
Even more.
got no
and
e-
then he's been defeated.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why he went back to his base. He only had one production building left.
So that move by Dot Dash, very clever.
Wow. That was so unexpected.
Okay, so we're
Very
gonna have
impressive.
a quick turnaround here just because the game went long and we don't want to drag things on too long. So we'll turn around and get into the next game as quickly as possible. So the same Freedom Claushers in blue and No Pain No Gain in red. Again, Freedom Claushers are going for the Chimera US pair up with No Pain No Gain going for the US Cartel pair up. That was a 40-minute game for anyone who didn't see the final screen there, so it did go on for a while. Hopefully this one is quicker, especially if this goes the way of No Pain No Gain, because then we'll be sitting on a third game.
That felt like it was way longer than 40 minutes. Sometimes I question that game clock.
Well, I think the biggest problem is when you're sitting looking at two players do the identical thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of like every minute feels like 10 because someone just do something.
It's true. It's true.
But that endless drop at the end was so worth the wait.
That was a very good ending. We see Nibiru going straight for the base scout with his K-Max. He doesn't need resources. He knows where they are. He wants to see the base. There is not too much to note at this stage, in my opinion.
Well, I suppose you can have a look if he's going double barracks or what.
True, true. But you see, Leo X is going to go straight for the central banks, or one of the corner banks, I guess we could call it.
This map is very interesting because it's got the very built-up area in the center, so you very often see like lots of building play with snipers and infantry units going from bank to bank and building to building, and it can be quite interesting.
It's very much so. Unlike the other map that I always forget the name of, it's not as dense urban. Like, there's a lot more spacing in between the structures. It's a larger area though, and there's much larger structures.
So we're seeing double gold of Nibiru. He has gone for double aluminium as well, just waiting for them to come up. Again, double gold, single aluminium from Leo X with his third gold going up. Very typical for US. As we see Dot Dash do the exact same thing. And then we see the single gold and second gold out of Andre B. No aluminium right now.
Leo X is going for the very dead center bank, it looks like.
And he will make it.
He will. He sent his first wave of infantry. He's now capturing his bank. And if he continues to want banks, he's probably going to go for that corner bank when he has the economy.
Yeah, so far not much bank pushing from Freedom Claushers. We do see Dot Dash going for his corner bank now.
Yep, and Nibiru's going for his corner bank, so yeah. They could easily have the bank advantage in this game.
Banks are very handy indeed. Especially as US, when you burn through your gold deposits quite quickly, sitting on that late game gold income is really great.
It is, and like early on, the banks help just a little bit here. They help keep production along, but like as the game goes on, like the amount that you're getting from those banks it becomes big. It adds up. That's the word I'm looking for. Yep, as I thought, Leo X going for his corner bank now, and that will give them the advantage as far as banks are concerned.
So Vehicles Bay up from Nibiru. very, very similar to exactly the same as what he did in the first game. So far, everyone's looking pretty much identical to what they did in the first game.
These are probably the builds that they've practiced and been tried and true time and time again. Sometimes it's just good to stick with what you're comfortable with.
So, double automatic out of Nibiru.
Interesting.
In the first game, he went for his Hinds before his automatic, so this is a slight change up.
Yeah, I don't know if he had a particular reason for it. Like, sometimes I'll just drop an automatic or a Scorpio while I'm waiting for my barracks upgrade. Which that's what it looks like he's doing, because you have to wait for that barracks upgrade before you can start deploying Hinds, and usually you're sitting on a lot of economy, so sometimes it's worth it to just drop a couple units out, see what you can do with them.
And you're 100% correct, because they come 4 Hind.
Andre will see these automatics going, wow, that UGV actually did a lot of damage to the automatic with that burst.
It surely did, it took half its health off.
Man.
So we're seeing Axe Hinds now out of Nibiru, which is different to the first game. The first game he built several different units and kind of harassed with them. Now it looks like he's just going max Hinds.
Yeah, I think it works better in this situation. The other map the previous map is huge, and it takes a long time to travel, even with helicopters. But here you're a little bit closer, and the resources for someone's base, they're going to expand much more quickly out of their immediate base area, allowing you to get that harass off and harass their economy.
And we saw in the first game that the anti-air play from Freedom Claushers was not actually the best. The anti-air play from Leo X especially was better than anyone else's. So that decision to go max Hinds could be a good one if they stick to not being that great with the anti-air. Because remember Andre B decided to go with Fennec instead of going for Terms.
Yeah, exactly. And Nibiru had hit his base early enough that a lot of the Fennecs got destroyed and in the early stages, and then Nibiru got to see that it was going to be Fennecs.
Yep. And Dot Dash again going for the double helipad without a light vehicle bay in sight yet. So yeah, lack of anti-air could be a deciding factor right now.
Stealth enemy unit detected.
Harassment from a single sniper from Dot Dash on the corner bank of Leo X. He does get his units out though.
Very quickly too. Doesn't even look like anything died. There's 6 infantry sitting there.
So 3 Hinds and an Otto sitting on the hill in the center between Andre B and Nibiru.
Yep, and they just got napalm bombs, and he's got a Sheridan and a lot of Grinches loaded in.
With a few more Hinds backing up already. So his Hind production is pretty decent right now.
I actually would guess that with the Grinches, he's going to suspect the reinforcement from Dot Dash with Guardians.
Which is likely, yes, considering Dot Dash has gone double helipad with no light vehicle bay or anything, so he is going for that dedicated air player early on again. Yet to see the light vehicle bay. Yep, and yet to see the light vehicle bay from Leo X though.
Yeah, he just dropped down the tech center, armory, and he is now upgrading, just doing upgrades. He's going to go for Blazers, because the tech upgrade, he is going for the Sea-Wiz and Stingers after Enlos, so...
Andre B loses the refinery there to the Hind force of Nibiru, as well as Dot Dash losing a Little Bird.
And here come the Guardians.
Yeah, backed up by Fennec.
If he can, I think Nibiru should have backed off from that.
Yeah, those Fennec really hurt.
I don't think he was paying attention, honestly. Because, yeah, the Fennec just picked off 4 hinds total, and if he had backed off, he might have been able to lure those
Stealth
Guardians
enemy unit
into
detected.
the Grinches he put in that barn. He's
Although
still
Leo X
losing.
is backing up here with his Guardians and his Osprey full of Hercules.
Ah, so many hinds there. Yeah, I think Nibiru missed that.
Stealth enemy unit detected.
Neo X is going to get pushed away by those Fennecs, though. Those Fennecs took down 1 Guardian.
But that Guardian range is so good.
It is. It's very,
Although
very good.
Dot Dash sees the opportunity and he seems to be pushing forward with his Guardian Force now.
Yep.
And still no light vehicle bay up from Leo X. That could really hurt him. He's not producing those blazes like he did in the first game, and that could not be the best decision from him.
Yeah, he doesn't have them early on. I can tell from his tech that he's going there, but for now, it doesn't look like that was his primary tech, and yeah, that is a lot of Guardians from Dot Dash sitting on an open field. You see the Phalanx dropped out by Leo X.
Stealth enemy unit detected.
Double Phalanx, and he is sending his force back, but they're going to take a while to get there.
They are.
Meanwhile, he is losing stuff.
Nibiru is continuing to harass Andre V, but those Fennecs are picking off the hinds.
Stealth enemy unit detected.
Neo X army is starting to slowly get back, but that is still so many Guardians out of Dot Dash. I don't know if it's going to make a difference. The damage has been done, including one of the Phalanx got taken out.
Strange decision by Dot Dash to pull back just before he took out the helipad or the logistics center. He could have taken out both, but he pulled back just too late.
Yeah,
I mean, too early.
might have been a
Stealth
little
enemy
bit of the
unit detected.
nerves. He didn't know what was coming his way. And we see Fennecs in the base of Nibiru doing a lot of damage. He might get that power
Stealth enemy
A
unit
plant.
bunch
detected.
more Fennecs coming up, so those Fennecs are just going to tear
Yeah.
through Nibiru's
This
base.
does not look good at all for Nibiru. And he's got his power plant sitting right next to that headquarters.
And the biggest difference here is in the previous game when Nibiru lost his base to the Fennecs, he could still take out Andre B's HQ. However, here that's not going to be happening.
Dot Dash's Air Force
Stealth
just
enemy unit detected.
multiplying. And we still don't... Okay, now we do have a light vehicle bay. It's starting to get the very first blazer out for Leo X.
But Leo X is going to have to 1v2 now,
Yep.
and it puts him in a very, very awkward situation.
It was very, very unfortunate for Nibiru. Those Fennecs just ended his day.
You'd think though that he would kind of counter it, considering the exact same thing happened to him in the first game.
Exactly.
And we're just seeing like a bunch more Fennecs heading towards Leo X's base now.
Yeah, it's not looking good for Leo X either. He does have the Phalanx, so they're not going to be able to sneak all the way and do whatever
Stealth
they
enemy
want,
unit
but
detected.
it's so many Fennecs that I don't think it really matters.
And Fennecs are considered by a few people to be very OP units at the moment because they can just do this. They're so cheap and so hard to kill.
Stealth enemy unit detected.
Here come Leo X's Guardian Force. Going to start taking advantage of their range against those Fennecs.
But that's a massive Guardian Force up from Dot Dash.
So many. I'm not even going to try and count. Yeah, Leox is in a very bad spot. And I think it's going to take some very skillful micro for him to pull out, because he is starting to get a respectable amount of blazers out.
Stealth enemy
If
unit
he can
detected.
get himself a good engagement, I think he might be able to keep his head in the game, but yeah, economically, he's so far behind.
There's the G-Jet. Yeah. Like, you could see that Andre B was going for the neurons as well, so it was only a matter of time before he just neuroned the hell out of Leo X's
Yeah.
base.
That was just really unfortunate. Nibiru looked like he lost a bunch of those hinds, and it looked like he just wasn't paying attention to some of his unit positions, and then the follow-up with the Phoenix was too powerful. Not much he could do
So, yeah.
against it.
Very, very close first game. Second game, very interesting because they all went for the identical builds, just slightly different play resulted in Nibiru losing his base before he could kill
Yeah.
Andre B's base.
It was looking pretty much the same thing, and then the execution was different, and that's what ended up losing it.
So Freedom Claushers will pick up the win there with